Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes College Football Week 1 final reactions and Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the brofict one, AJ. Thank you for joining, listening, watching, however you're viewing. We appreciate it, and welcome to the show. It has been a hell of a weekend, hasn't it? I mean, college football now on this Labor Day all the way wrapped up with Clemson and Georgia Tech finishing it off. Clemson coming away with it 41-10, covering the spread, and honestly looking absolutely dominant throughout the game. There was a part in the first quarter where Georgia Tech looked like they were going to, make it a game. Keep it involved and keep the boys moving, but 41-10, just not enough firepower to fight off this Clemson team. Now, I think the big thing that sportscasters and people like me are going to do throughout this week is completely overreact to some of the events that we saw this week. However, it's well deserved. It's well deserved. We have been waiting so long talking about baseball, basketball, and other shit. Like, we've been waiting for this, for college football to be back, for football to be back in general, so I'm going to overreact to everything. Clemson is looking damn good. I mean, an efficient offense, defense that could keep the boys off the field. I mean, just unreal. Now, I do want to shout out Jeff Sims, Georgia Tech's quarterback, going 23 for 36, 164 yards, 1 tutty, 1 interception. Not a bad showing against a team that's ranked number 4 in the country. So shout out Jeff Sims. And Clemson using 2 quarterbacks. He's in DJ. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, sorry. And Cade, not going to try to pronounce his last name. 19 for 32 for DJ, 4 and 6 for Cade, 209 yards and 50 yards respectively, both averaging around 6 to 8 yards with 1 touchdown apiece. Now, DJ also carried the ball, 13 carries, 28 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. I mean, that's not a bad way to start your season. Now, let's talk about a team that definitely didn't start their season well, and that would be the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks out of the Pac-12, ranked number 11, going up against the Georgia Bulldogs, ranked number 3. And let me tell you, this was one of the more piss-poor performances I've seen from a Pac-12 team. I get it, it's Pac-12, and our football has never been the best, but Oregon ranked number 11. Obviously, a lot of people with Bo Nix coming in to start thought that was going to be okay. Everyone thought Bo Nix was going to be the answer for this Oregon team. Bo Nix, though, going 21 for 37, 173 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interception, QBR of 58.9. My man is playing like he's back in Auburn. I mean, seriously. It's one of those things where last season, Noah and I would fade Bo Nix whenever he was on the road because he just couldn't win road games to save his life. And we're in a position now where we're doing the same thing again, except this time it's not just fading Bo Nix on road games. No. It is fading Bo Nix in general. I do not see the Oregon Ducks having a great season this year. I see a lot of games where they lost because of an interception. I see a lot of games where they lost because of a turnover at the hands of Bo Nix himself. Coming from an SEC school, he probably thought he was going to have a better time here in the Pac-12. Well, hey, not even a chance. He couldn't shake it. He had to go up against Georgia in Game 1, the defending champs. 49-3 was the final score, and honest to God, I thought this Georgia team was going to take a huge step back, losing so many starters from their defense and offense, but mostly 5 guys to the NFL draft in round 1. I mean, that defense last year was absolutely stacked that beat Alabama, and yet it still seems to be stacked with the 2 interceptions on Bo Nix and not letting him pass the ball much with 173 yards. I mean, let me tell you. Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck did fine at quarterback. Stetson 25 for 31, 368, 8 yards. 2 touchdowns, 0 interception. Carson Beck a little bit of the same, 5 and 6, 71 yards. 1 tutty, no interceptions. Both quarterback ratings over 95. Over 95. So that means Georgia is dealing with an embarrassment of riches right now. And let me tell you, Georgia's looking damn good. Number 3 in the country, about to be number 2 in my opinion. I mean, they played a team that was ranked, that was supposed to be good, and yet here we are with Oregon only putting up a field goal in the second quarter. Bo Nix is dead. Oregon is dead, and it is going to be duck hunting season for whoever steps foot onto that Oregon field. Let's talk about another team. This team isn't bad. This team surprised me, actually. That being number 5, Notre Dame, going up against number 2, Ohio State. Let me take what I said about Georgia. They're not going to be number 2 because Ohio State is the best team in college football now. I am talking this very moment as we live and breathe. Ohio State is the team to beat in college football. Now, you're going to say, bro, it was 21-10 Notre Dame. No, that was not about Ohio State. That is how good Notre Dame is this year, getting off the thumb of Brian Kelly, who ditched them before a bowl game last season. This has nothing to do with Ohio State not being back, Ohio State not being good. This has everything to do with Notre Dame being back. Notre Dame is back. This football team is back. This historic program is all the way back. And it's not back like Texas is back. Because every year you hear Texas is back. Texas is never back, and Texas won't be back unless they somehow get Arch Manning to go ahead and stay there. But that ain't happening. I'm telling you right now, Arch Manning ain't going to Texas. He ain't going to Texas. But this Notre Dame team, firing all cylinders defensively and offensively, as someone who took Ohio State plus with the double-digit spread and not covering, I'm impressed with this Notre Dame team. I really am. C.J. Stroud, I still think, is going to win the Heisman on Ohio's side. I mean, C.J. Stroud, he went 24 for 34, 223 yards, 2 tutties, 0 interceptions, 89.5 QBR. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better performance against that stout of a defense that is Notre Dame. I mean, the fact that he didn't give up any picks is honestly almost unbelievable. Almost. But he's C.J. Stroud, future Heisman winner, coming in for Ohio State, 21-10. Again, the final score. Notre Dame is going to be a team to watch this year. I promise you that. I'm not saying they're winning anything. I'm just saying they're a team to watch. Going up next, this one is a personal vendetta. This one is a personal vendetta against one Brian Kelly, head coach for the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers. Shout out Coach O. What a terrible game. What an absolutely miserable game for LSU. I tweeted it out. It was like mid-first quarter, and I'm like, oh shit, Brian Kelly already looks completely defeated. Close game, 24-23. Florida State blocking that last-second field goal to tie it up. I mean, just an absolute shit show from Brian Kelly and LSU on all fronts. On all fronts. Defensively, offensively, special teams. Jesus Christ. Brian, I want to shout you out, Brian Kelly. Because it's honestly impressive that you choose to leave an organization that is trending up so fast in Notre Dame, to leave them before their bowl game, before their last game, to possibly play into the college football playoffs. You leave them high and dry. And where are you now? You're losing to Florida State, bud. Losing to Florida State, bro. Congratulations. I hope. 24-23. That's a heartbreaker. Don't get me wrong, but that is a terror. That's just not a well-coached program. And I know it's early, AJ. It's early. It's his first season with the program. They got to put blah blah blah. Whatever. Brian Kelly was supposed to be the savior. He ain't the savior. I hate to say it. He sure as hell is the savior. Let's talk about someone who might be the savior, though. Let me find it. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Let's talk about USC. Hey, USC showing up for the Pac-12. I mean, let's be real. USC might be the team to beat in the Pac-12. Lincoln Riley moving from Oklahoma to USC taking on Rice 66-14, the final score. Rice didn't stand a chance from the get-go. This was definitely one of those games where you're like, oh, I'm watching a varsity versus a freshman team. It was one of those games, unfortunately, for Rice. And Caleb Williams following Lincoln Riley, of course. He went 19 for 22, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 95.2 QBR. My man Caleb is loving Southern California. He is loving it more than Oklahoma, and I can promise you that, especially the way he played. Just an absolutely incredible performance from Caleb Williams. Miller Moss coming in to finish the game 6 and 7, 81 yards, 64.5 QBR, solid backup. But hey, Rice, it's one of those games, they get it to boost up their score, and I might be overreacting here a little bit. I might, but if I was truly overreacting, the score would have been more like 20 to 14, or 24 to 14, or 17 to 14, not 66 to 14. I'm telling you, USC is ready to go on a run that is going to be unparalleled in the college football, literally from zero to hero. They're going to go 0 to hero, and if U of A and the Wildcats don't win the Pac-12 title, it's going to be USC. Sure as hell isn't going to be Oregon. There ain't no chance in hell it's going to be Oregon. Oregon ain't doing jack shit in the Pac-12. I'm going to tell you that right now. There is no chance of Oregon doing anything. Moving around college football, just checking out any other games. Oh, yeah, Nebraska. We didn't get to talk about this one truly from week 0, but Nebraska is so fucking dead. So fucking dead. It's not even funny. Scott Frost, I hope you are already looking for a new job. Tennessee beat Ball State 59-10. Tennessee still seems like they have the offensive weapons to make it run. They're going to pull out some big upsets middle of the season where the schedule gets tough, and they're going to be able to figure it out. Tennessee is going to be one of those teams this year, I'm telling you. Penn State also coming up with a big win against Purdue, 35-31. Shout out covering that 3.5-point spread. It was almost a heart attack moment. I'm not going to lie to you. But Penn State, they have been trending downwards the last couple years, and I think that's it. I think we're done trending downwards for Penn State. I think it's only up for here. I think they have a great coaching in there, great front office, great quarterback staff, great offense. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. ASU beating NAU 40-3. That should be the score. Should be 60. That should have been a Rice score, but ASU 40-3. I mean, still a lot of questions around that program. With the new quarterback, Emory Jones, coming in, 13 for 18, 152 yards with a 59.5% QBR, and that's against the NAU Lumberjacks. For those of you who don't live in Arizona, that is Northern Arizona University. Honest to God, I didn't know they had a football team until they played U of A a couple years back. Well, last year, and then they fucking kicked their ass. But this is a new U of A squad. All right, new U of A squad. Simple as that. Simple as that. And Degens, honest to God, that's all I got to say on college football week 1. It was a hell of a weekend, and I'm beyond excited for week 2. And not only week 2, we got NFL week 1 this week. That's right, baby. We got NFL week 1 this week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel in order to stay up to date with everything Degenerate, all of our takes, all of our bets, everything like that. We cover it all. I will be starting a new daily show called Brofix Sports Talk every morning, hopefully around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Still working out the times on that with my schedule, and we'll make sure it happens. With that being said, also go ahead and check out the link tree in the description down below. Check out our shop. Support the show. We got some dope merch. Also follow us on all the Twitters, Instagrams, TikToks, and all that bullshit. And yeah, college football is all the way back. Football is all the way back, and I cannot wait to see what happens. With that being said, I've been the Brofect One AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.